Is break time over?
I'm not sure.
I think we are still missing...
Sheep?
So I don't think Satis is here.
I'm here.
Alright, everyone is here. Then let's proceed, I suppose.
Woo! Break time's over!
I guess while everyone else is sleeping, I wake up early. Or if we were doing shifts, then, I take over the last shift.
Sure.
I don't think we have to worry about microing it so much, given our situation, but, certainly, for, 5 characters on the road, since we all needed a 6-hour extended rest except for you. It can be like, we stop for a total of 7.5 hours, each of us has a shift that's like an hour and a half long, and then you can rest or do whatever for the other 6 hours.
Yeah, Erevan will just write in his journal, and I doubt anyone will notice, but Erevan lights a very small candle and prays.
Alright.
By the time the morning arrives, everyone will just see him reading his journal with his legs crossed on the bed.
As for Saloro and his part, I don't know how the others sleep. Saloro sleeps in the robe, the cloak, the gloves, the veil, everything. And when he wakes up, he cleans everything with magic.
Fantastic.
Erevan probably won't be surprised by this, thinking we've been travelling for a little bit.
Yes, it's just that he usually, ends up, he's not exposed. He does this in his tent, So, like, does he sleep like that all the time? He's stiff as a board, just like poke at him while he's asleep. Every muscle is tensed. What the fuck, Saloro? And I keep hearing that goddamn jello. You're not even awake to renew it. I still hear it.
The smell of cinnamon.
Cinnamon! Is she cooking downstairs? What the fuck?
Oh, goodness.
Fucking wizards.
Alright, morning has dawned.
Erevan, noticing other people starting to wake up, will just get out of bed and go downstairs.
Yeah, there seems to be people again in the common room. They seem to be talking to each other, and when the party sort of slowly makes their way down, a spontaneous cheer comes from the gathered patrons. It's like, hey, the heroes of Sandpoint.
Yeah. Erevan will look very slightly surprised for a second, give a bow and say, it was no problem.
I make a smiles at them. I told them what you did for the town.
I see.
Oh, I see my health bar reappeared.
On sitting down, I'll look at Arenoss and just say, enjoy your private suite.
Yes, it's very nice. Big, comfortable bed and all that.
Even as a private bathroom.
Yeah.
Lucky son of a...
I have stayed here for a while,
Fair enough.
Yeah, there seems to be a bit of a mumbling conversation going on around you. The other patron seems to be discussing the raid and, basic town rumors flying about.
Erevan will go ahead and ask for a glass of water.
And he will promptly get it.
Yay. I need my morning drink.
Yeah, my morning drink of water.
What, when you're in the life of the military, you're not always carrying around bottles of wine with you? My character's just in a routine of each morning getting a drink of water from somewhere.
As Saloro passes the townsman and townswoman discussing, he overhears a slight sort of snippet of conversation. The woman says, "Did you hear that actually Sheriff Hemlock? He was so late to the scene, not because he was fighting goblins, but because of his entanglements with Lady K of the town brothel. And she sort of looks with a conspiratory glance at the townsman and says, "What, really? Are you sure?" They sort of start discussing this supposed secret romance between the sheriff and the madam of the town brothel.
Saloro actually stopped walking.
They seem to be so engrossed in this topic that they actually don't really notice Saloro standing there.
Saloro's okay with this. Saloro doesn't like people to notice him anyway. You're just doing wizardly things, sort of just leaning back, not taking a seat, just observing with his storm gray eyes everything that's not them.
Exactly. They seem to be discussing this actually quite vehemently, and the woman seems to be of the opinion that this is indeed fact. The sheriff should know better, and that he is indeed a blight upon the name of sheriff. He should be a sort of an honorable man and not fraternizing with people from the, as she calls, the kitten, which Saloro gathers is perhaps the name of the brothel. The man, however, argues that this seems to be quite the conjecture. Like, what kind of evidence does she have? And she says back that, well, she has a friend of hers actually noticed the sheriff going in and out of this establishment quite often during the last couple of months. And he doesn't seem to be visiting any of the girls, as she has heard, but the madam of this brothel seems to have taken a shine to the sheriff. Why would she do that? Why would a madam actually entangle herself with the law of town? Well, it's obvious. She is trying to gain favor, to be bedding the sheriff. Well, that is the surest way of not getting shut down, isn't it? Around this point, they sort of notice Saloro standing there, and she's like, "Oh!"
Saloro's eyes, well then the storm gray eyes, just the whole face obscured except for the veil. The head just slowly leans down to look at the toe.
She blinks and looks back.
Good morrow.
Good morrow. The man turns towards Saloro. Thank you for taking care of those goblins.
Saloro nods, and then lifts a gloved hand up, temporarily peeling the veil away to reveal the pale gray skin of the face. The lips curl upward, showing the white teeth.
They seem to be a bit uncomfortable by this. Saloro's alien appearance seems to be somewhat unnerving to the couple.
Saloro pulls the veil back up and walks out of the tavern. To visit the most important character in the entire party, Heinrich.
The horse.
How long did he stay there and listen? I don't know. They start arguing over that fact. All right. Does the party do anything else at the tavern in the morning?
Everyone will just talk with people and make sure he understands exactly what happened. What everyone was doing yesterday. Making notes like normal.
I'll just eat some breakfast and smoke my pipe. Nothing important, really.
All right. Yes, all right. Alvyn?
I was distracted by Saloro's check. Alvyn will just wait for the party to eventually head to the crypt.
Saloro just goes through his regular daily checkup, even though Heinrich hasn't traveled to see to make sure they're feeding him right, He hasn't been disturbed. Entertain the horse. Oh, here's a treat,
It's a goblin's head.
My goodness, now you know what to do, right? The head goes sailing out of the stable. That's a good Heinrich.
All right. Erevan can actually make a streetwise check with a +5.
Who did you say? Wasn't
Streetwise +5.
me do a streetwise at +5?
Talking with some of the people at the tavern, you do pick up the sort of the odd tidbit of local rumor. It seems that with the goblin attack, many are actually, again, like speaking up about what has happened. One of the patrons thinks that surely the goblins must have come from up north, the old light or Chopper's Island. The ghost of the serial killer still haunts that place, and it would seem obvious that goblins would come from that direction. You know, one evil creature fraternizing with another evil spirit. What could be more natural? And he shudders at this. From this sort of, again, old stories of 5 years ago turn up, and they start discussing the other inn of the city for a brief while. Talking about how the White Deer Inn, as it's now called, was once actually named Black Deer Inn. But after the fire, when it burned down, it was sort of renamed to the White Deer to sort of not be associated in, black soot and burned down wreckage. It was sort of tastefully renamed after the fire.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to specify, since I do need to do this on a daily basis. For Saloro's daily spell prepared, he's chosen to go with Flaming Sphere rather than Sleep.
Alrighty.
This is something that I have to make known.
Indeed.
Oh god, something's gonna burn.
Saloro just wants to set the world on fire.
Clearly. Erevan walked down. Is everyone ready?
Oops. Alvyn will just say yes.
Yes, let's head out.
All right, outside, you meet up with the sheriff and the Father Santos again.
Perfect timing.
He nods. Yes, I was just up at the graveyard. It seems that nothing strange happened this night.
I somehow doused it. Even goblins need to sleep.
He nods. I suppose you are correct. Well, shall we?
Yes,
We need to wait for Saloro first.
All right. Yeah.
Nah, there he is. Let's go.
All right. Well then, follow me. And the sheriff quickly moves through town. The graveyard of Sandpoint is actually quite extensive. Perhaps the town has had many dead to bury in the past. The sordid history of the town seems to indicate it, at least. It is well appointed. The graves seems to be well kept. They are in nice, neat rows. The oldest ones being sort of closer to the now cathedral, while the newer ones are further away, sort of at the northern end of the town. There doesn't really seem to be a lot of sort of crypts or mausoleums as such. Most seems to be graves, like gravestones. There is a bit of vegetation in the graveyard, like a few trees here and there. You see something that you think is a tool shed of some sort. A small shrine to the Raven Queen, the goddess of death and fate, to sort of possibly protect the graveyard from undeath or some such. Yes, as I said, it seems well appointed and well kept.
Erevan will look around. Can Erevan see anything that might indicate things been moving through here, like goblins? No.
He doesn't see any such tracks, no. Oh,
Does
interesting.
Alvyn?
Yes. When the party started walking through the graveyard and heading north towards the newer graves, you sort of look around. After a few minutes walking through the graveyard, Father Santos and Sheriff Hemlock will point at the old priest's crypt. Esakian Tobin was his name.
Erevan will examine it.
It does indeed seem like something has more or less ripped the doors from its hinges.
Does it look like it's been just brutally ripped off with strength?
Oh, you can make a perception check.
The one skill I have 0 in. 15.
Erevan does notice that it seems like someone or something has attacked the door with what appears to be axes to try to chop it up. There seems to be quite a number of sort of tracks around the door of small clawed feet.
Can I identify these as goblin prints?
It seems likely.
Everyone will examine. Is there any kind of runes on the exterior of the door or anything?
There is the seal of the late cleric, Esakian Tobin, probably his sort of seal of office. It's a Vandra, but he has personalized it, possibly a sort of a family seal type thing.
Okay. Erevan will just look back at everyone. Has anyone got any questions or anything you want to ask, or anything you want to have a look at before we go down?
Maybe just check the surrounding area for something, maybe?
It couldn't hurt to just double check.
Alright.
I'll watch the door, you guys have a look.
Yeah. Arenoss will head to the back of the crypt and check. Look for anything out of the ordinary, basically.
Right now we're circling the crypt.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
No.
Alvyn will try
Join the fire
to.
department.
Alvyn will try to get the attention of the party and point to the back wall. Along the line of the forest, there is something that he spotted
Oh.
at the far side of the graveyard.
Yes.
Arenoss will look.
Arenoss only sees greenery, a couple of trees, and
Are the trees overhanging the wall?
yes.
Can I take a closer look, like another perception check?
You certainly can. You can get closer.
Arenoss will follow.
Like
Well,
over here, right?
Yeah, basically here.
Erevan, no, since I assume Alvyn probably informed me as well.
Yes, he did.
I would have asked Alvyn to see if there was also any any damage to the wall, like any small holes or anything that goblins could get through.
Well, what do I see?
Well, getting closer, it does indeed seem like there is a ladder against the wall, sort of tucked behind some of the greenery and the bushes and the overhanging branches of trees.
Alvyn will turn around and make sure that everyone hears this. Well, here's a ladder, so that might be something.
Well, there's one
Yeah.
possibility solved.
There also seems to be a lot of tracks around the ladder. Alvyn can spot quite a few goblin tracks and some other tracks that seems to not be goblin. They're far too big.
The question is, on the inside of the wall, are all the tracks then like spreading out? I guess.
What do you mean?
On the other side of the wall where the goblins, if the goblins went up that and climbed over, are there like load of tracks going everywhere from there?
Oh, you mean in the forest?
No, on this side. So if they go over,
No, it seems like the tracks are going straight for the crypt of Esakian Tobin.
so they had a goal.
Is the ladder on the inside of the wall or
Yes.
on the outside?
Oh,
Inside.
Oh, okay.
I thought the ladder was on the outside. Ooh.
But
So
is there another ladder on the outside?
Well, and
Or anything?
does Alvyn climb up the ladder and check?
Yes.
All right. Looking over at the other side, he does indeed find another ladder.
Oh.
Okay, so it can work both ways.
How large is the ladder? Just a ladder.
Yeah, a normal-sized ladder.
How large are the footprints on the other side?
They seem to be, well, roughly the same size as perhaps you.
So there was more than just a regular goblin.
Yep, it seems, I'm not quite sure, it seems to be boot prints.
Alvyn will climb back over and suggest that we follow the footsteps into the forest.
Yeah, we definitely should, but we should check out the crypt first. Since we're already here.
Yeah, I guess.
One mission at a time.
Indeed.
And Arenoss will walk up to the crypt and have a look.
Yeah, the Sheriff Hemlock is standing at the entrance of the crypt and peering down into the blackness.
Oh.
And shaking his head. It's too dark down there, I can't really see.
Arenoss will pull out his, what's it called, a lantern. And
Yes.
light it.
See. So what's down there?
Yeah, and have a look.
Sorry, one more thing. The tracks that we are seeing, are they coming from the forest into the crypt or the other way around? Or just both ways?
From the forest into the crypt, it seems, but then a lot of tracks go out again, and then it becomes sort of unclear because the tracks go in and out through each other. So it's quite difficult to actually say.
Well, everyone will examine it, and since he expects trouble, he's going to do that. I'll do the same for Roldar.
Yeah, Alvyn, seeing that his companions are equipping weapons, he will as well.
Always expect trouble.
Does Arenoss see anything?
Sorry. Yes, Arenoss peers down in the darkness, and the light seems to shine down a couple of stairs and illuminate what seems to be a stone floor at the end of the base of the stairs.
All right. He will sort of wave the other members of the party over.
Erevan will take point.
Right.
Okie doke.
The worst thing you can say, I'm taking point.
I will give you the lantern then.
Okay, since my longsword only one-handed, that's fair enough.
Saloro casts light on Erevan's longsword.
Okay.
I will hand the lantern back. Now my weapon's also my torch.
Storm gray eyes rotate to look at Arenoss. He smiles behind the veil.
Erevan will
Help,
give
I
a-
disappeared.
Arenoss just says very useful.
Erevan will give a nod of appreciation.
All right. So Erevan is the first one down the stairs.
Correct.
Okie doke.
The order behind that, I don't know.
Who goes second?
I guess I do.
Okay.
I will
Maybe.
probably be at the very end.
Oh no, yeah, I'll go second. Whatever.
I guess Roldar would be right behind you.
Yeah.
So I will follow between Roldar and the gnome.
All right.
Ooh, I see the map. This looks creepy.
Right.
Erevan expecting trouble on reaching the base of the stairs. Well, would take one step forward and glance around the room with my passive, apparently.
Looking around the room, it seems to be well appointed as crypts go. clearly the late cleric of the town was quite loved. Otherwise, they wouldn't have sort of built such an extravagant tomb for him. It is a vaulted ceiling. It is held up by pillars here and here. On a raised dais in the far end of the room seems to be a sarcophagus or a casket made of stone. In the gloom, the Erevan can make out that the lid seems to have been slid away.
Everyone will look slightly worried by this, and just acknowledge to everyone the fact that something has definitely been moved down here.
It is still quite dark down here.
Yeah, Alvyn has low light vision, if that's any help.
All right. It is quite a musty smell down here. It's clear that no one has been here, well, at least in quite a while. Even though the door has been sort of pried open, the fresh air of outside hasn't really cleared up the dust and the smell of, well, death down here.
So just double check. You did say no one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because in my mind I heard no.
No. No one. At least no one with the attention to air it out.
Erevan will slowly move forward.
Right.
Constantly being back and forth, looking around the room. Is that are there markings across the wall at all?
Well, it seems to be mostly religious symbols of Avandra and some of the Raven Queen. It doesn't really seems to be a lot of fresques or like pictures wrought into stone. It's mostly quite. It's well made, but nothing super special.
Is there any dust on the ground?
Yeah, quite a lot. It seems to have been quite disturbed, especially now that the party has moved through it.
Yeah, can we see? Could we see footsteps in the dust or not?
Yes.
Where do they lead?
The footsteps led up here.
Everyone will carefully step up and look down.
Yes, the sarcophagus is indeed empty. It is clear that bones have laid there quite recently, but they are not here any longer.
Interesting.
Saloro, would you please make an Arcana check for me? Arenoss can do that as well.
There we go.
Can I also do it because I have like a racial bonus to it?
Sure. Grimith?
What's up?
Arcana check, please.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Let's see here.
Now Grimith gets like 40.
You know.
I rolled a 1 on that one.
Natural 1. Erevan and Arenoss are the ones that suddenly feel sort of something is suddenly very wrong down here. It is as if death is concentrating its stare here. It's like vile sorcery is suddenly flooding into the chamber.
Erevan will bring his sword close to his chest, ready to strike.
Arenoss will sort of say, I can feel dark powers down here. We shouldn't stay.
So can I. Oh, too late.
As from the darkness and gloom, it seems like the dark sorcery has conjured forth skeletons. They basically rise from the dust and the corners of the chamber, being swept towards you with dark winds of magic. They are wearing old, sort of archaic arms and armor. and their eyes glow with malevolent blue light as they approach you. Clearly, not being very friendly.